Power on. Bluetooth pairing mode. Your Bluetooth device is connected successfully.
Lions that muting at his throne. At the door. I was approaching the door. What he did. Yeah, ship the throne to the line. Long way. Long is power running as we near like his throne. Welcome to the Hebrew state of being. I am your humble servant and host for tonight. I am Kayel. In the building, my young and Bella song is going to bed, getting ready for school. My butter pecan, Miss Artist 28, is also going to bed to get ready for work in the morning. So solo dolo guys, we are in it tonight. I see we got one on YouTube, we got one on Facebook, and we got one on Instagram. I see my son is on IG. Oh, praises. They kicked me off, man. I'm out of IG jail, son. I'm glad to see you. First one to come and greet me when I get out. Oh, praises, man. So our title of our lesson tonight is cultural appropriation is don't be distracted. We have a lot of things going on in this world, and I don't really think people have a good clue. But I can tell you it doesn't matter. You don't have to know about any other stuff that's going on in this world. But one thing you do need to be clear about is that the Most High is in your life. And if you are not working with him through the things you're doing, if you are not getting to know him so that you can have grace and mercy through the things that are occurring, because you cannot prep yourself enough for the fall of the dollar. You cannot prep yourself enough for an invasion. You cannot prep yourself enough for EMP attack. You cannot. You don't know which way it's going to happen. It could be a hurricane. It could be an earthquake. It can be Yellowstone popping off and you got gray ash that covers the entire United States, which geologists have said that we're long overdue for Yellowstone Park to blow. So you really can't prep for the unknown that is so unknown. But you can understand the way that your Most High moves so that you can see how to navigate. Because if you are under his grace and mercy, he's going to absolutely see you through no matter what it is. Earthquakes, volcanoes, invasions, bombs over Baghdad. Doesn't matter. That's why tonight's title is Don't Be Distracted. Look, I love history. I'm a person that goes deep into history. I can tell you how the Spanish were here, the French. I can tell you where the first Vikings were. I can tell you who the people were in Ireland. I can tell you all in Wales. I can go there with you historically and geographically. I can tell you how we all came about here. But it really doesn't matter. It really doesn't. When the United States is about to be a kingdom that has fallen, like every other kingdom has fallen. So what is it for you to be a Moor right now? They ran for almost 1,000 years. They reigned all of Europe. So what is it to be a Moor now? Not a thing. Well, in America, you're trying to say you got some type of sovereignty, but whatever. They want us now to move. The Democrats want us to move into a global society under the UN, that we will be yet like France and Spain and Germany. We will be another country that is under the overarching rule of a governmental or world government of the UN. Now you're going to lose. You thought that you didn't know who you were through slavery, and all they told you was that you were just, you just was born a slave. Your people always been a slave. Now you're not even going to have that. You're just going to be a citizen from the United States as a global citizen. No history, no connection, no family, no tie, no. You are not prepared and cannot be prepared for the many changes that are coming. The only way that you can assure yourself to make it through is that you got something to focus on. I see Kathleen in the building. I see Eran made it in the building, Brother Yuan in the building. See, you have to have something to focus on. The guy that's in the ocean, that's shipwrecked, when he sees land, all of the despair, all of the possibility of death, all of the sharks that may be in between him and that landfall that he sees does not matter. He has something to focus on. He has a direction. He can see his salvation. That's what I'm offering you guys tonight. I don't have a whole bunch of scripts for you guys tonight. I'm tired. We've been working. There's a lot going on. But we need to understand that what Diddy is, or what Jay-Z is, or what an Epstein is, or what any of these characters, these actors that have been distracting us even before their trial, even from the 90s, there's been a distraction. You are now finding out that the people in these industries, in order to get where they've gotten, they've had to do some type of funny type of business. But many of you don't make the connection historically that funny type of business is the same thing they did in Rome and in Greece. It was the lifestyle of Rome and Greece. Then you don't make the next step and say, well, the people that's running the record labels, because these guys weren't that way before they got there, but the people that are running that label and decide who gets the light shined upon them, you must do acts for these Greeks and Romans. You can be distracted at the low life that got caught and then not focus on the people that put the system in place. And you would be wrong. you would be absolutely wrong, getting inundated by, as my wife talked about all day, the Kim Porter's book, right? Of all the things, of the omissions, of the improprieties that was done through her life that was taken, written, so that we all would have her words post her death. Distractions. Because knowing who turned Diddy into a beast, or turned Jay-Z into a beast, or turned African Bambaataa, or y'all forgot about the story about African Bambaataa, or that he was a booty bandit, y'all forgot about that he was the first gatekeeper before Diddy. Oh. I said that to you. Yeah, African Bambaataa, the first one out of New York that was bringing in the first artist, was booty busting all of the ones coming in, because it was the way to get in. It was the entry into big money, not little money, not regional success. Again, all of these are just distractions. The election, African Bambaataa, the go ahead and Google it. They had a whole lawsuit on him. It was ridiculous. They named all the people that he had. African Bambaataa had quite a history that became very, very well known. You guys go out there and Google it and find out and understand that there's been gatekeepers in the entertainment industry that have been put on by these Greek Romans, by these aristocrats, by these other people that this is their lifestyle. I'm saying that nothing is new under the sun. What I'm saying is that regardless of what you have been enamored with right now, this has been happening since antiquity. This is the point that I'm trying to make. That this behavior is something that has always happened and it's always torn down other kingdoms. So this is par for the course for this United States to fall because of the iniquity in which it breeds. But y'all don't want to believe that. You want to believe the history books that tell you, oh, they fell because of this, a freakish volcano happened, or, they lose their trading partners, or their dollar went down. You never put in the fact that the Most High said enough was enough. Don't be distracted by something that has been happening since antiquity. What you need to figure out is how to have yourself covered as this kingdom or this last great nation turns over into whatever it's going to be. I see my brother George in the building, EB. So staying focused on the Most High is your way of salvation. And what do I mean by staying focused on the Most High? That means what you do in your life, you do it righteously. So many people just say, love this and do as God would do it. The Most High has given us an absolute, easy, understandable playbook. You know right from wrong from inside you. As you go through your life, do the right thing. That's what you need to be focused on. Doing the right thing no matter what is going on, no matter who's talking what. The struggle is going to be even more thicker. The grind is going to get harder. It's going to get more tight. Money and the way that people act with a loss of. It's going to make things real strange. So we're going to start off with Psalms 86, verse 11. And it reads, "Teach me your way, O Most High. I will walk in your truth." Not the truth of the world. This is the focus thing. This is the land that you see. If you are stranded in the ocean and you see a patch of land, you are walking in the truth of that, what you see, what you know is your salvation. I will walk in your truth. Let my heart be undivided in reverence for your name. Psalms chapter 86, verse 11. The reason why the Most High asks us to read a little here and there is so that we can meditate on the nuances, the small parts, as if you are reading someone's rap and you want to find out the intricacies of what he really meant by the double entendre or what layers was in it. That's the same way there is in this book. So when the Most High is saying, when Dawid, who wrote this, it says, "Teach me your ways, O Most High. I will walk in your truth." This is a man stating that the world is an absolute lie. The only truth that I see is your word. I'm going to walk in that. It says, "Lead my heart. Let my heart be undivided." This is the distraction. He's asking and praying not to be distracted. Don't let the world distract me from what? The reverence of your name. How many of us think about our Creator throughout the day? How many of you think about his name and the fact that you know the name of the thing that made the sun and the moon and the water and your breath? To take that on a personal level of an understanding, not just like everybody else throws out these God names and these deity names. Let's go to Nehemiah chapter 6. See, this is about distractions, right? Because the world loves to distract you. If you don't know who Nehemiah was and what time Nehemiah was around, this was after the temple had been sacked. This is after 70 AD. Well, no, this is right before 70 AD. This is after 589 when Nebuchadnezzar has taken us out, and Cyrus has allowed us to come back and rebuild the temple. So Nehemiah has come back from being in captivity to rebuild the walls of the temple. So in verse 3 of chapter 6 of Nehemiah, he's being distracted. There are men that does not want the Hebrews or the Judeans, the Yahudim, to rebuild the walls. They are jealous. So they're trying to figure out ways, schemes, ideas, any way that they can to stop them so they don't complete the wall. So these guys come up with some trumped up charges. They come up with a rumor. But in the beginning, it goes this way. I'm just going to read from the top. It says, "When word reached Sanballat and Tobiah, Geshem," we're going from verse 1. Geshem, the Arab, so this is an Arab with them, "and the rest of our enemies." So we already find that he's calling the Arabs our enemies. Just calling it as it says in the scripture right here, right? When word reached Sanballat, and Tobiah and Geshem the Arab and the rest of our enemies, that I had rebuilt the wall and not a breach remained in it, though at the time I had not yet set up doors in the gateway. Sanballat and the Geshem sent a message to me saying, "Come, let us get together in Capharim in the Uno Valley." They plan to do me harm. So the man that has been given the order, Nehemiah, the king gave him the right to come and build this wall. But these guys want to try and kill him because they feel like, the leader's done, then the plan is done. And it says, verse 3, I sent them message saying, I am engaged in a great work and cannot come down, for the work will stop if I leave it in order to come down to you. That's the attitude that we need to have in this day. Nehemiah is telling them, man, I know it's about bullcrap. He's not even going to entertain them. He says, I'm doing a great work. How many of you are willing to tell your friends and your family, I can't do some of the silliness because I am focused on the Most High? Oh, wow. See, you wouldn't want to do that because you're going to say, well, man, I don't have a wall that I'm building. What if I'm just at home and they want me to come and do some of the shenanigans? I know what's going to happen. I know how this night is going to end. I know how this barbecue is going to fall out. Can you say, man, I'm focused on this great thing that I'm trying to do. I'm trying to build or rebuild myself. I'm trying to build this covering that you may not be able to see, but I know it's there. I'm trying to build this force field around me, something like Noah's Ark, you know what I mean, by my righteous deeds. Because I can't afford to prep for a year. I can't afford to dig a dungeon. Heck, I'm in New Orleans. You ain't got no dungeons here. You're going straight into the bayou, straight water underneath these streets. So, there's not that possibility for me to, buy a big portion of land and build a compound on it and get my chickens and get my cows. That's not the position that I'm in. Not the position that many of us are in. So what are we building? If we're not building our bunkers, if we're not building our barns for our farms, what are we doing? Being righteous. In every step that we do, and the Most High will provide that path. If nothing else, you're going to have clarity when everybody's blurred, when everybody's confused, when everybody's scared. At least you're going to know, I know this was written. And if this happened, what was also written was that I would be covered. Let's go to Proverbs chapter 5, verse 1. So do not let people pull you from what you're doing. Have your plan with the Most High. Work your work according to righteousness and don't have time for what other people are talking about in this hour. I was talking to a family member and I was expressing this injustice that's being done to me in the law arena. And they was like, maybe your circle is too small. Maybe if you knew more people, there could be someone else that could help you. And I understand that the family member was only meaning well. They were only trying to say to me, they were trying to kind of like cheer me up, saying that, hey, even though you are not seeing the options or seeing what you need to see, there are other people out there that can. What I had to explain to them was, I don't need a bigger circle. I just got to be patient and figure out where the Most High is trying to move me. I don't need the world. I just need the Most High. And I just need to be focused and clear on the messages that's being sent to me so I can navigate. I understand most of the world will be like, well, man, I need to network. I need to do more of this. I need to do that. No, I need to pray really hard, pay attention to where he's sending me, and look for the answers and where I'm going. Look for the answers and what's coming to me. I may have somebody to come walk up to me and tell me exactly what I need. I've had it done before. Hey, man, I do this. Wow, I just needed. I just actually was saying I needed somebody to be able to do this thing. And lo and behold, a person walks up to me. When your energy and your spirit is in that order, it happens for you. Believe me, it happens for you. Proverbs chapter 5, verse 1, and it reads, "My son, listen to my wisdom. Incline your ear to my insight, that you may have foresight." I'm sitting up here trying to explain something, but this scripture gave it to you in 2 verses very clearly of what I'm trying to say to you. If you have insight into the righteousness that you're doing, then you're going to have foresight to be able to figure out where and what to do to have your grace and mercy, to have your covering, to find resources where nobody else can find resources. Do you trust you, though? So many of us live an external life. We live through other things. We live through the TV. We live through our social media. We live through our friends. We live through our dreams. Very rarely do we live through our reality. Do you like you? That's a reality. How you feel about you is the reality. How you feel about yourself is how you walk through this life. It's how you walk through this world. If you don't love yourself, if you don't have something that's redeeming about yourself, then you don't treat the world with any redeeming value. You don't treat the world with any kind of trust. If you have low self-esteem, then you think the world is beating on you and the world ain't worth nothing. The world is dark. The world is full of doom and gloom. How you see yourself is your reality, and how you treat the world and the reality that you create around yourself. So the insight that I'm telling you about, the focusness, the focus that I'm trying to express to you is understanding yourself through the Most High by trying to be righteous in all your actions. When you go through trials and tribulations and you choose righteousness, like Kendrick said, choosing balance, when you choose righteousness, there's a plethora of things that fall out from that. There's conversations that happen. There's circumstances that happen. There's repercussions that may possibly happen. There's windows and doors that open when you make the choice of righteousness. There's a whole different path from the one that choose to not be righteous. It says, "My son, listen to my wisdom. Incline your ear to my insight, that you may have foresight. While your lips hold fast to knowledge, for the lips of a forbidden woman drip honey. Her mouth is smoother than oil, but in the end she is as bitter as wormwood, sharp as a two-edged sword." That speaks almost for itself, right? He says, hold knowledge in your lips, for the lips of a forbidden woman. Not any woman, but a forbidden woman. He says a forbidden woman, her drip like honey. It says her mouth is smoother than oil. It says, but in the end, it is bitter as wormwood and sharp as a two-edged sword. And I'm going to just go to the next one. Her feet go down to depth. Her step take hold of Shaul, which is hell. She does not chart a path of life. Her course meanders for lack of knowledge. Meanders. What does meander mean? It's somebody that distracts you, that you never get to your destination, right? The world is the dripped in honey that tells you all of the lies. The women that follow the world that the men follow. If you don't have your own focus, if you don't know who you are, if you don't know your direction, you are going to take the dripping of honey. You are going to get the bitterness of the wormwood. You're going to get the double-edged sword. You will find death. You will find yourself aimlessly distracted. This was written by men 3,000 years ago. It's true as I breathe right now. Distractions has been the downfall of all of us in life. The ones that have been able to navigate their distractions the best are the ones that have been successful. Most of the time. Because even the ones that navigate the best, they get to a point or a level where you're asked to choose your morals or mammon, more money. It gets to that level. See, you can amass $1 million. You can amass $2 million without having to bow or cow down to someone, so to speak. But now when you want to do things, when you want to empower your people, when you want to get in the system and try and do some things, because now you got money, you've always wanted to do things, that's when you find that in some places, it's not your money that they want. Some places it's your allegiance. In some places it's your co-signing. In some places it's your body. The world has a way of making you have to choose wickedness or righteousness. They don't really give you an option most of the time. That's why you see humility being the thing that's touted by shamans. You don't ever see a man that is a priest or a high priest looking for fame and fortune. You don't find someone that is spiritually, connected, seeking the eyes of the world. The world is full of serpents. And I don't know if you want 1,000 snakes looking at you. Some do. Doesn't matter. The point is, that's what happens. Whether you like it or not, whether you understand it or not, is irrelevant. That is the process. That is what is happening. Have the insight, have the foresight to understand what this world is about and what it is requiring. Let's go to Isaiah chapter 26. Nope, I'm sorry. Proverbs chapter 4, verse 27. And it reads, "Do not swerve to the right or the left. Keep your feet from evil." Do not swerve to the left or to the right. Keep your feet from evil. I used to think that, evil came from a place of anger or a place of rage. Evil can come from the most innocent concepts and thoughts. As they say, a mustard seed can grow the biggest tree. People's desire to just, as someone said to me this week, people's desire to just take care of themselves. See, there's a concept in the world right now where nobody wants to tell anybody that they're wrong. Everybody just wants to be able to get along and just take care of theirs. And I expressed to that person, do you understand how detrimental that is? That very simple thing of self-preservation. Bear with me. When you have a society of people that wants to mind their own business and will allow anything to happen around them as long as it does not directly affect them, because that's what you're describing when you say, I just want to be out the way. Just trying to be out the way. That creates a society of lawlessness. That creates a society that has no checks and balances. That creates a society where the insane asylum inmates become the rulers, the government, the decision makers. When you have that ideology that I'm not going to tell anyone that they are being sinful, I'm not going to tell anyone that that's the wrong way, that's immoral. I'm not going to tell someone that no, that does not work here because that's not according to the Most High. We think that simple aspect of self-preservation isn't evil. It is absolutely evil. It is absolutely evil to allow drag queens to read to our children in the libraries in our neighborhoods. We should not say that's them. We should not say, oh man, that's messed up. There should be a physical reaction. There's a physical thing being done. There's a physical indoctrination being done. So there should be a physical response to such actions. Protest, write to your congressman, show up, show out. But because we just want to stay out the way, it runs rampant. So it goes from Sunday at the library to now we got these identities in the school systems, and we got to teach the kids, the school system, these 1,000 different identities. But when they want to teach CRT, critical race theory, in the university level, not in elementary school, not in the high schools, not in kindergarten, but at the university level, the entire nation lost their mind to tell university people that white people enslaved black people. Like we don't already know this. See, that's what happens when we simply just want to stay out the way. We just simply don't want to say to my brother, my nigga, I love you, but don't call me talking about bitches. My nigga, I rock with you, my dog. We can talk about anything. I do not want to hear about how many girls you done tried to holler at, what you done did with this one, how you done flipped that. Can you talk to me about something other than that? That's hard for some brothers. That's hard. That's hard to tell their homeboys, I got some standards about me. And it's not that I'm a square. It's not that I'm a geek. It's just that I just don't want to hear that bullshit, nigga. I mean, excusez-moi. Did I say any offensive language? Is it too much to say that I'm requiring a better conversation from you, my brother? We've been partners all our lives. I'm requiring that you speak to me like the royal man that I am. That is beneath me. When do we start raising the standard of our conversation, of our mind state, so that we have that insight, to have that foresight? Because if we continue to have dumbed down conversations about distractions, we can't focus. I can't focus if I got all my partners calling me about some Instagram model or some whatever. It says, do not swerve to the right or the left. Keep your feet from evil. Now let's go to Isaiah chapter 26. Verse 3. Isaiah chapter 26, verse 3. And it says, the confident mind you guard in safety. In safety because it trusts in you. It says, they just threw all books in Florida with us in them out. Get ready. They've been pausing us slow and steady time for that lethal injection back from Shadia. Oh, yeah, no doubt. No doubt. So they just threw all the books out in Florida. I'm not to understand that. But we know they're crazy in Florida. Not even a question. But what the Most High is saying here in this 26 Isaiah verse 3 is that when you are confident in your mind, you don't want to cloud it with distractions. You don't want to cloud it with your old lady talking to you about things that are unimportant. You don't want to cloud yourself with silliness from the street. But if you ain't got nothing you focused on, if you're not trying to achieve something, if you're not trying to get to that land, that patch of land, while you suck in this ocean, then you good with the conversations. You can tread water and talk to the sharks and be eaten slowly. You have to guard your mind and your heart and your spirit in this hour. That's what this tonight is about. Guarding this. You cannot let silly conversations, silly thoughts, random stupidity cloud your mind. Let's get to Proverbs chapter 17, verse 24. Proverbs 17, verse 24. Wisdom lies before the intelligent man. The eyes of the dullard range to the ends of the earth. So just what I expressed about being distracted and the ones that are not focused, ones that have no project, ones that don't know what they're trying to achieve. We know we're trying to achieve righteousness in our actions every day. That takes concentration. That takes focus. Because things slip so fast, things come at us so quickly that making the right decision off of the scripture takes a focus. You need to slow down sometimes and say, hold up, let me see what's going on. It says, wisdom lies before the intelligent man. The eyes of a dullard, the dumb one, ranges from ends of the earth, means that it can't stop being enamored by the shiny things. Oh, look at this. Oh, look at that. You know, the feed on your social media. You know, you can't stop looking at the Instagram or the TikTok. You're just like a dullard. We all have done it, including me. That's why I'm talking to you. Do not be distracted. Find what brings you comfort in scripture, like music or watching different people talk or go through history trying to find. My project was I was trying to find who the Maccabees was. My project was I find different projects in scripture and I do a deep dive into it. Yeah, like a hamster wheel, cuz that's the dullards. I choose projects of righteousness, a festival, documentaries about who we are as a people. You have to choose projects that's going to be fulfilling to your community, to you, that you're giving something back. You're giving something, you're adding to our people. You don't have a direction and you're just out here working a job, coming home, eating a meal, trying to raise your kids on their homework, go to bed and then come right back up and do the same thing. You are missing life. There is an entire life happening out there, kayaking, camping. I mean, there is the Most High's, there's travel. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're a head of a household, you are supposed to, your project is enriching your children and your wife in this book and what and how we're going to live our life so that you can see it in your grandchildren. If you are single, you should absolutely have a project that you are bringing something to fruition that you know is going to bring you money so that you can sustain yourself, because the Most High is going to bless you when you are doing something that is bringing righteousness. So making sure that your money is being gotten through that and making sure that you're making an impact. The rest of the world is going to happen. They're going to create new hamster wheels. They're going to create new shiny things. They're going to keep on evolving to distract the world. What are you building? What are you stacking? And please don't tell me it's money. That's leaving nothing here. And they take it when you die. What are you? And let's go. So Proverbs chapter 17, verse 24. It says, wisdom lies before the intelligent man. The eyes of a dullard range to the ends of the earth. Verse 25, a stupid son is vexation for his father, and a headache for the woman who bore him. Verse 26, to punish the innocent is surely not right, or to flog the great for the uprightness, right? Verse 27, a knowledgeable man is sparring with his words. A man of understanding is reticent, meaning that he's reluctant to give certain information. He's refined. Verse 28, even a fool, if he keeps silent, is deemed wise, intelligent, if he seals his lips. So if you're not participating in stupidity, you can look like you are intelligent and not know a damn thing that's going on. Let's go to Isaiah 43. Verse 18, Isaiah 43, verse 18. And it reads, do not recall what happened of old, or ponder what happened of yore. I am about to do something new. Even now it shall come to pass. Suddenly you shall perceive it. I will make a road through the wilderness and rivers in the desert. So, as the Most High is saying, we should not be caught up on the things that we've lost in the past, the things that we felt like we fell short on, the hurt of relationships, of family, not being raised the way you want to be raised, not having the two parents in the house, all sorts of things. There's a myriad of reasons in this broken world for us to be upset, for us to say it's unfair. But here in Isaiah 43, verse 18, Most High says, do not recall what happened of old. When you accept the Most High and you are walking together, then everything that's happened in the past is par for the course. Knowledge you gained, understanding you gotten, or something that you need not anymore, because he is about to do something new in your life. He's bringing you into a different place, a different thought, a different perspective, a different path. He says, and you're going to perceive it. Nobody's going to tell it to you. It's not going to come up on a neon sign. You're going to know inside you. That's why we know we have a creator, because we actually perceive him speaking to us. And we ain't too busy listening to everybody else talk. We ain't too busy listening to our flesh talk. You know, our flesh be talking. You know what I'm saying? Loud. Y'all already know. You know what I'm saying? And the more you beat down that flesh, the lower that voice gets. The more you get rid of distractions, the less distractions come to you. This is a known fact. It's You have to make the decision. Most High told us in the scripture, when you flee from evil, evil will flee from you. When you turn from it, it will flee. Because you're turning to the Most High. When you turn from evil, you're turning to righteousness. And evil will flee you. Now that's hard for a lot of us because we be relying on some of these evil people to do things for us. We think they're gonna help us get to the next level, or we enjoy talking to them. That's my favorite drinking partner. That's my favorite smoking boy. You know what I'm saying? Don't really matter. None of it really matters. It's the new thing that the Most High is doing with you. It's the new people. It's the new path. It's the new perspective. That's all that matters. Who you are doesn't change. Your priorities change. And when your priorities change, then people think you change. No, you're still at the core good person. You're still at the core person that doesn't like the math, or a person that doesn't like to do their bills at the end of the month. But when your priorities change, the things that you know you need to do, you find it easier to do. That's the best way I can explain it. You start to get in a understanding of how your grace and mercy comes, and that what you think is a giant hill or mountain to overcome becomes a lot easier than you thought it would be, because the Most High says, I go and I fight for you. And you start to learn that, hey, these mountains aren't insurmountable. These challenges aren't things that I can't win. I just got to face them. Because the Most High says in Isaiah 43, verse 19, I am about to do something new. Even now it shall come to pass. Suddenly you shall perceive it. Let's go to Genesis chapter 4. We're almost out of here, guys. Genesis chapter 4, verse 25. Adam knew his wife again. Well, I'm sorry, not 25. I was wrong. Verse 7. And that's interesting. I was like, wow, I don't remember going into Adam and Eve having kids again. But anyway, chapter 4, verse 7. Here we go. Genesis chapter 4, verse 7 says, surely, if you do right, there is uplift. But if you do not if you do not do right, sin couches at the door. Its urge is towards you, yet you can be its master. I'm gonna read it again. Genesis chapter 4, verse 7. Surely, if you do right, there is an uplift, an upgrade. But if you do not do right, sin couches at the door. Its urge is towards you. Yet you can be its master. I just said the more and more you beat your flesh down, the more and more you control your flesh. This is what the Most High was telling to, guess who? Cain. This is when Cain gave his horrible offering unto the Most High, and the Most High accepted Abel. So the Most High is consoling Cain, the evil one, and saying, look here, if you do right, you're going to get uplifted. Don't worry about the fact that you didn't get yours this time. Don't worry that I chastised you. I rejected your offering. Don't trip. In fact, if you do understand that sin is right at the door and it's trying to get at you, but you can master your sin just like all of us. How do you master your sin? By understanding and knowing righteousness, by having that foresight. Let's go to Proverbs chapter 4 as well, verse 25. That's where I got mixed up. I thought that was the verse 25, but it's for Proverbs. Proverbs chapter 4, verse 25. It says, let your eyes look forward, your gaze be straight ahead. That gaze and that focus is on the Most High, his laws, his statutes, and his commandments. Let's go to our last verse for the night, Psalms 32. Psalm 32, verse 8. Our lesson tonight, the title of our lesson is Don't Be Distracted. In this hour, they are giving you much to be distracted about. They're giving you much to fear, from civil war to elections to Diddy to who's next to Epstein to just last week, Putin almost hit the nuclear, or he threatened to hit the nuclear because the United States wants to supply Ukraine with airplanes and certain missiles that can attack directly in Russia. And Russia finds that to be a provocation of war. And since they are not playing with the United States, they understand that the United States has nuclear weapons. So therefore, Putin said that would be his next step. Now, those are all still distractions. As impending of a danger as that appears and really is, for us, we are staying focused. We're staying focused on being righteous because we know that there is salvation and there is covering and mercy in that, because you can't prepare for nuclear. I don't know what fallout shelter you have. Psalm chapter 32, verse 8. Let me enlighten you and show you which way to go. Let me offer counsel. My eye is on you. That's the whole key to this. We get rid of the distractions so that we can hear his voice, so that we can hear the Most High talk to us. That's what all this is about. Moving your life, eating right, so that you can receive the signals from your Creator. Your body is a vessel, and if it's clogged up with all these processed foods, you may have a harder time hearing the Creator and even functionally discerning what to do. Getting your body right with your diet, getting your mind focused, and in this book to get the insight of the Most High, he will do something new in you, and you will hear him talk to you constantly. The Most High has nothing but good for us. He has nothing but salvation for us. He has prophecies such as Jeremiah 30, claiming that he has salvation for us, the ones that call upon his name. So I give all praises and honor and glory to Shaddai Ahaya. And I pray that you guys are covered in this hour. And as our lesson for tonight, I will see you guys on Shabbat. Man, this time is moving by so fast, man. But just keep focused on the Most High, man. Make sure you make time in this world for yourself. And that's reading the scripture. That's your time. That's for you. Trust me, it's truly for you. It makes you shrewd. It makes you sharp. It makes you analytical. And it brings peace, knowing that you can see the tomfoolery, knowing that you know what is righteousness. And that when in this moment that you're sitting in, you know you are righteous. You're not on the fence. You're not confused about where you are. It is a beautiful, peaceful place to be. I pray that all of you get there. All praises. Me shalom. We will see you guys